Lesson 8.8, working backwards with circles. So we're going to be using our area and our circumference formulas. So up at the top of the page, area is equal to pi r squared. Circumference is 2 pi r. So for the first one, the circular floor carpet has an area of 484 pi inches squared. What is the radius of the floor carpet? So our area is 484 pi, and our formula is pi r squared. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi, which will leave me with 484 is equal to r squared. And taking the square root of 484 on both sides, the radius is equal to 22. So A is our answer here. Number 2, if a circle has a circumference of 12 pi, what is the diameter of the circle? So this is our circumference. So we're going to be using the 12 pi is equal to 2 pi r. So we're going to divide by 2 pi on both sides. The pi's cancel out like we saw in our notes, and 12 divided by 2 is going to be 6, which is equal to your radius. The question, though, asks for the diameter. So because the radius is 6, the diameter would be that doubled. So it's going to be 12 centimeters for number 2. For question 3 and 4, moving on, read and solve the following problems. Show all work. So a round carpet has an area of 8,167.1 square feet. You have to pay by the linear foot to have the carpet bound. The outside of the carpet gets sewn so it doesn't fray or rip. So work backwards from the area to find the radius. So area is pi r squared. So we have 8167.1 is equal to, I'm going to change this to a decimal, noticing I have a decimal there, just like we did in the notes. So I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3.14. So 8167.1 divided by 3.14 gives me 2,600.99, which is equal to r squared. So I'm going to take the square root on both sides here. So 2,600, and I need the square root of that. And getting that, I get 50.9999. So that means that I'm going to just round up to a whole number here, which is going to give me 51 for the r. So the radius is going to be 51, and our units here are feet. So now it says use the radius to find the circumference. So we're going to be putting the binding on the outside of the circle. So it's going to go around the outside. So circumference is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. So we're going to be doing 2 times pi times 51. So if I'm keeping this in terms of pi, I'm going to have 102 pi. But because I'm actually getting this done, I'm probably going to want to have the decimal version. So if I multiply by 3.14, I get 320.28 feet then for the circumference. Over here, we have the area is 706.5 square inches. We're trying to find the radius, the diameter, and then also the circumference. So it's kind of like just a picture version of what we just did here. So our area is 706.5 is equal to pi r squared. I'm changing this over to the decimal version just because I noticed I have a decimal in the problem. So I'm going to divide by 3.14 first. So 706.5 divided by 3.14. It's going to give me 225. To get my radius, I'm going to go ahead and take the square root. And the square root of 225 is 15. So my radius is 15 inches. That would mean my diameter is going to be 30 inches. And for my circumference, I'm doing 2 times pi times the radius. So 2 times pi times 15. It's going to give me 30 pi. And I'm going to go ahead and change that. So I'm going to do 30 times 3.14, which will give me about 94.2 inches. So my circumference, 94.2 inches for this one. For question 5 down at the bottom, Mrs. Grabner's favorite pizza is the taco pizza from Scotty's Pizza. She and Mr. Grabner order a large pizza which has a 16-inch diameter. What is the area of their pizza, and what is the area of each slice if the pizza is cut into 8 pieces? So the diameter is 16, which tells me my radius would be 8. I need to know that because I'm finding area, and my formula for area is pi r squared. So I'm going to have pi times 8 squared. Because I'm going to actually be wanting the number here, I'm just going to jump and I'm going to skip that, leaving my answer in terms of pi. So I do get 200.96 square inches. Because it's cut into 8 slices, I'm going to actually divide by 8 here. And dividing by 8 gives me 25.12 square inches for each piece. Question 6. If Mrs. Grabner weren't so picky, she could just order a plain large pizza with a 16-inch diameter for $11.50 at Scotty's. What is the price per square inch of pizza for the plain cheese? So we still have this 16-inch diameter pizza, which means our radius is 8. So our area is pi r squared. So pi times 8 squared. You'll notice it's actually the same as this one. So area is 200.96 square inches. The question doesn't ask me just for the area, though. It wants the price per square inch. So I'm doing price per square inch. So the price of the plain cheese pizza is $11.50. The square inches is 200.96 for the pizza. So I take $11.50 divided by 200.96, and I get 0.0572, and it keeps on going. Because we are talking a unit price, we're going to stop after the second decimal point. We look to the third number to tell us if we're going to leave the 5 as a 5 or if we have to round up. Because it's a 7, we are going to round up, so it's going to be 6 cents per square inch. And a square inch is kind of depending how large your bites are, it's about the size of a bite. So when you're eating that cheese pizza, you can think it's about 6 cents for every bite of pizza that you're taking. That is it then for lesson 8.8.